Oh, welcome in, everybody, to Amalgamation Nation, the AMNATIONPOD, your source for gaming, sports, anime news, and so much more. As always, I am the anime watching, booze cruising, booty knife gang rapping, John Cena's following, Shaq Daddy himself, Ryan Green Machine Ebner, and this is going to be a gaming episode today. We got a little bit of gaming news to get into. We'll talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching, all that good stuff, and more. As always, though, joining me today, he is from North Carolina, also the 2021 AM Nation Fantasy Football Champion, Brendan BK Kennerly. BK, how are you, sir?
I'm good. The title defense starts tonight.
Sure does.
Yeah, so it's exciting times. Exciting weekend here. But recently, just like it's the same thing I've been playing. Cyberpunk 2077. But I do have an update. I've done all the side missions and everything. I've taken out all the cyber psychos. That's all done. Like literally done all these side gigs, all of that. Every side story thing has been completed. The only thing I haven't done all of are the NCPD things that pop up. There are just so many. I haven't done all those. I just have like the last main mission left here, and then and then I'm probably gonna put the game aside. I have most of the cars unlocked in that game. If the car was worth more than 60 grand in that game, I got it, unlocked it. Got it. I got most of the cars. I got all the like apartments / houses already as well. Really have enjoyed my time with that game. Looks lovely. It's a beautiful game. It's just that's a game. It as we all know, and I think we said on here, is it just came out too soon. It wasn't ready, but definitely have enjoyed it. Watching the wife and I finished The Sandman the other night. We really did enjoy that. Hopefully that does get a second season. Knock on wood. We finished Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, which I think everyone should go watch. We super enjoyed that. We're ready for season 3. That's probably gonna come out next year. Just super just fun, enjoyable, like little whodunit show. Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and I think what's that guy's name? Martin Short. So it's a really great show. Just go check that out. And then we started watching season 3 of C last night with Jason Momoa. Episode 1 dropped last night, and leaves you on like a big cliffhanger / depressing part, which is like, fuck, you have to wait another week for the next episode to come out, which is kind of like, damn it, you bastards. And then the last thing we've been watching is Wrexham FC. That's the documentary following Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. They bought a 5th tier Welsh team. They're in the 5th tier of like the English league. So like we know the English Premier League's like the top, and then the Championship is second, and then there's a 3rd, 4th. The Welsh team Wrexham FC's in the 5th tier. So like they bought that team, and it's like following them, trying to like to see if they get them just to move up a tier, just to move up to the 4th tier. But it's enjoyable so far. What you been playing and watching, big guy?
Playing a little bit more of Cult of the Lamb. Playing that a little bit more. And I throw in Madden every once in a while just because it's something I can play for a little bit when I get home from work. But watching, so it may shock you and other people. I just started this show. It is a hit show that is no longer around anymore. It was a very, very like cultural phenomenon for a long time. Yeah. It is Breaking Bad.
The Andy Griffith Show.
No, Breaking Bad, dude. Never watched Breaking Bad. So last night...
I haven't either. I've only seen like a few episodes.
Okay. Copy that. Well, everyone always gives me this weird look because I don't watch it. And I was sitting there yesterday doing a draft, and I was like, I gotta throw something on. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to throw Breaking Bad on. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, oh, I actually kind of like this. I'm going to keep watching it. So what happened was last weekend we were at David's house, and what did we watch? Oh, dude, our friend Nick, who's in the league, never watched Big Bang Theory, dude. Never saw it. All right?
I've seen it, but I've never watched all the way through it.
Oh, well, I love it. It was actually when I worked at my old job, it was like a staple for us because every time we would go on lunch at 6, it was on. Reruns are on. I think I've watched that whole series at least twice because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, because of work. So And David really likes it, so we were watching it, and Nick started. Nick was watching it, and he really enjoyed it. He's like, you know what? Now I'm gonna go home, and now I gotta watch it. I'm like, exactly, dude. It's a fantastic show. So watch that, and we watched the first and the third Hobbit movie. You might be wondering, why didn't the second one get watched? Because for some reason HBO Max only has the first and third, and doesn't have the second one.
See, so that's where you should have logged on to the Voodoo that you have the password for that I gave you. And
Yeah.
guess what? Guess what's on there?
The second
All
Hobbit,
three
right?
movies.
Ah,
Yeah,
well.
and the extended editions too. It's
I
not
should've
the
told
like.
him.
Yeah, I mean,
Shit. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. I actually I have the Lord of the Rings extended ones too, but I just don't think I have them digitally. I don't think they're in there, unfortunately.
Well, what all this is really leading to is that David has an Apple TV, right? I love it. Like, it was so nice, so smooth, so much better than my Fire Stick, which has been bugging out really bad for the last few months. So I was like, you know what, dude? I'm gonna buy an Apple TV. So I go on, Amazon had it like $60 off, same day delivery, right, with Prime. Got it, dude. That was on like Tuesday, I think. Ordered it. Tell you what, didn't arrive Tuesday. Said it should be there sometime before Friday. Wednesday came. It did not arrive. Thursday came. It did not arrive. So Friday, I got to Friday. It still wasn't there. So I got a refund. All right. I was like, this is ridiculous. Right. So then I ordered it through Best Buy for the same price that I would have got it on Amazon. And it should be here in a few hours. So cool. Yeah. Amazon really dropping the ball on me, dude. Could have had my sale. Could have had it. They had to drop it. Yeah.
Dang. Well, I'm ready for you to get Apple TV there, and yeah, definitely let us know what you think.
I'm excited. I'm honestly very, very excited because it just looked so much better.
It does. Yeah,
What I don't look forward to is replugging in all the apps and the information.
Yeah, and logging into all that. Yeah, no, that's brutal.
Yeah. I can't wait to have to text everybody all these reset passwords. I can't wait.
Well, I think you can do a lot of it on your phone with the Apple TV. You should be able to
Then I should be okay.
Yeah, that might help.
Good. I'm excited then. Let's get into some gaming news. I almost said quaming, and that's not a word.
I thought you were about to say Guadalupe, and I was like, is he making a surprise appearance?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I saw him this weekend too, and I was like, oh yeah, dude, what up, man? Let's start with Gamescom opening night live out there in Germany. That was this weekend because they had Gamescom going on. Not like a ton, honestly, dude. I watched this, I think, mostly a little bit on the drive to work. I had it going as background noise, and then I watched more of it like at work. I just kind of had it sitting there, just kind of like checking out if anything kind of grabbed my attention. Here's just a few things. Dune Awakening, a survival MMO. That looked really cool. For somebody that hasn't even watched Dune yet, I just thought it looked cool.
It's on the Voodoo.
Is it? Oh, good. It's also on HBO Max. I keep wanting to watch it, and I just don't. But I do want to.
It's long. You got to set aside like two. But like Colleen and I have watched through it like 3 or 4 times. We actually really liked it when it came out. We enjoy it.
Well, good. I'm meant to watch it. I know Caitlin keeps mentioning it. She wants to watch it because Zendaya's in it. Zendaya is bae. You know what I mean? Yeah. Atlas Fallen, that looked like a really cool story game where like the slide mechanic looked pretty kick-ass. So I was in on that.
Stand?
Yeah. I like that. I like that game a lot.
Darth Vader hates that game.
Yeah, he does, dude. Anakin hates it. Sonic Frontiers was shown, and we also got a release day of November 8th. Hopefully that sticks. We'll see. Hogwarts Legacy, they showed off more, and they also showed off the legendary editions, that what you get with like the book and the floating wand above the book.
The floating wand above the book is pretty damn cool, I gotta say. And and it was like a decent size. I think it was like the wand was like an actual size. It was like 10 or 12 inches like long. I was like, holy crap! Like that's significant. It's a floating ruler. Like I mean, I'm just doing it, but I it's just cool. It's also expensive.
It is very expensive, upwards of $300. Yeah, I think it's $300.
Wow,
that's expensive.
But it's nice.
But the game looks really cool. Like I'm actually really interested in it. Again, the first couple months of the year, again, just like this year, gonna be real packed again. Real packed. So, Dead Island 2, that got a release date for February 3rd. Just keep it coming. Keep it coming. At least that was a game I didn't have to care about. That was a game I was like, nah, I'm past that. I don't care about zombie games anymore, so I'm good on that. So that's
Really, you
nice.
don't care about them. You're done. Well, weren't you guys like real excited for what was it, Back for Blood? And I guess like it just never really did it for y'all.
Just something that didn't really get my, like, I thought it would. As somebody that really liked the original Left 4 Dead, I was like, oh, maybe this will kind of grab it. And I just think I just kind of, I don't want to say I grew out of it, but it's just not something that I'm interested in anymore.
I get that. That's just me playing like Call of Duty like online. It's like
Yeah.
I did it a lot during college, and like not necessarily I grew out of it. It's just like I've been there, I've done that. It's just not my jam. But
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not my big thing anymore. And then Gotham Knights, we got more look at that, looking at the Rogue Gallery as well, which is really cool. That's supposed to come out October 21st. Again, fingers crossed we stick it. Fingers crossed we stick the landing here, guys. So this is really cool. I thought it was good. You got some good announcements. Like I said, nothing really crazy, which, again, I don't think there's been any opening night live since they've been doing it the last few years. That's been that way. But yeah, that was pretty cool. They're gonna have it. They'll have it in person again next year, which I think is awesome. There's something about it when there is a live crowd for those type of events that I just enjoy it very, so much more, obviously. But yeah, overall, cool. Got some release dates and got some new footage on some other games that we already knew about. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually missed opening night live. Work's just been crazy because it's happening while I'm at work, so I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I had a chance to, catch up. Essentially, I watched all the trailers and all the stuff, all the gameplay stuff they showed, and I don't know. I'm a Sonic guy, because I'm a Sega kid.
Yeah.
But like Frontiers, I don't know. I'm feeling a kind of way about it. I don't know. I'm almost getting a little worried, and I don't know if that's just PTSD with like previous kind of Sonic games. Like I don't know. I'm getting a little worried. So, like, we'll see. I'm hoping for the best, but, like, I will at least make it known that I am getting slightly worried now.
Yeah. Now, I actually was watching some different interviews from Gamescom where they actually had people coming out of that booth. And a lot of people really liked the mechanics of it. And they liked how it was.
Good.
So,
that makes good.
all right, man. We'll see. I'm excited. Also, we were talking about the Sega Dreamcast at work, and because one of my buddies there really, really loved the Dreamcast, and he said, "What was it? Power something 2 was his favorite game from the Dreamcast era." Because I saw a list, and it was IGN's top 10 Dreamcast games. Do you know what number 1 was?
No. Well, maybe Panzer Dragoon. No, that's probably top 10. No, it's number 1.
Soul Calibur.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Power Stone 2 is the game I was thinking of, though, that he really liked. Power Stone 2, yeah. But yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I looked at him, I go, dude, you're like the second person that's ever told me how much they love the Dreamcast.
The second person ever.
Yeah, because I like the Dreamcast, don't get me wrong, but like usually during that time, I don't talk about the Dreamcast. I talk about the 64 and like the PlayStation of that era, and then obviously the GameCube.
Oh man, I had a Dreamcast and loved it. Was great.
It was fun, dude.
Yeah,
it was a fun time.
And like the little because you had the memory cards that you could play games on, so you had like the Sonic little little creatures loaded on there. Play I remember. Colin, one of my friends in middle school there, and we were in home ec class, and we made a bunch of things in there. That's we actually sewed. We made a pillow and made fortune cookies, all this stuff. And I remember we would sit there sometimes and play on that in home ec class.
Oh yeah. Oh, I want to point out too. I got an update from my Apple TV, and it says it will arrive on the 26th. Well, that was yesterday, so it's definitely not arriving then. It actually says arriving today by 8:00. I was like, that text message doesn't make sense, Best Buy. But thank you. It's all right.
Good looking out, guys.
Besides opening night live,
if they say 8 p.m., that's what UPS does. His 8 p.m. UPS always does your package will arrive today before 8 p.m. So it's coming UPS.
Yeah, it should be yours. Hopefully soon. I hope so. Also, besides opening night live, like I mentioned, Gamescom was going on. So there's a bunch of other announcements that come from Gamescom as well, including a new Tales from the Borderlands, which is interesting because they actually pulled a lot of the writers that worked at Telltale to work on it. So that's really cool. Word Song comes from the former Bethesda and Obsidian devs. Very cool. More looks at Callisto Protocol. You got a Genshin Impact update, Rainforest World. Pretty cool. I don't have Genshin Impact installed on my Xbox, and I did play it before, though. So maybe I will reinstall just to see what it's like, dude.
Isn't it also on mobile?
It
Or
is
did I
on
make that
mobile.
up?
It is on
Okay.
mobile. Yep, it is. Yep. Honkai, the Star Rail, the next Hoyoverse game, so that's pretty cool. Friends versus Friends, a card-based shooter. I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't know what that is, but that sounds fun. All right, look that up.
It looks interesting.
Ooh, Where Winds Meet. It's a sword fighting fantasy game. Very nice. Park
That game looks
Beyond.
boy.
Does it?
I'll wait till you're done at the end. I
Oh,
feel like I'm
okay, cool.
interrupting you like
No,
an
you're
asshole.
fine. Yeah, you're fine. I didn't know. It's like I don't know. Park Beyond, like roller coaster tycoon of the future. That's all right. Liza P, which is Pete. I'm gonna call it Liza Pete. Phantom Hellcat, a hack and slash game from new studio Ironburn Creations. Goat Simulator 3. Yeah. Return to Monkey Island coming into September 19th. Killer Clown from Outer Space, the game. High on Life. Moving Out 2. We also got to look at Stranded, Alien Dawn, a planet survival sim. Under the Waves, a new game from Quantic Dreams, also coming to Xbox and PC. The Lords of the Fallen, which is finally a sequel to 2014's Lords of the Fallen. A few years ago, we heard about Lords of the Fallen 2, and they never came out with anything, so now it's repackaged as just the Lords of the Fallen. The Outlast Trials, the first multiplayer Outlast game. That's alright, that's fucking cool. Moonbreak from the makers of Subnautica. It's a Hearthstone meets XCOM with miniatures that you could paint. I saw this, and it made me immediately think, because I didn't mention at the beginning of the show what I was doing last weekend. I was actually painting Warhammer figures for the first time ever in my life. Yeah, so Nick got David to buy some. Because David wanted to, right? And Nick wants somebody to play Warhammer with. And I just refused to commit to it. I can't do it. I think it's a lot of money. And I honestly believe I would not enjoy the whole thing as much as I did. Like, I enjoyed painting one of David's models. I liked that. That was fun. I just painted one model and it still took forever. I don't think I would want to do the whole process of building them and then painting a bunch of, I don't think I want to do that. But it was very nice. It was fun. But yes, I saw this game and I was like, no shit. That looks pretty cool because as they showed off, in all the painting that's done on those models, you paint in game, which I thought was fucking cool. Thought that was a really cool thing. So I like that. Homeworld 3, an Expanse, a Telltale series, very nice. Blacktail, you could play as good or a bad witch. Ooh, I'd be a bad witch. Everywhere from Leslie Benzies, one of the creators of GTA series. Dorfromantic, I think I got that right. Scars Above. They also showed off DualSense Edge. It's the Sony's version of a Microsoft Elite controller. It looks really nice. Kojima is coming out with a podcast to crush all of the hard work you've done on yours. What a son of a gun. Hope we get Kojima on the show. Let's do that. That'd be cool, dude. That'd be pretty sweet. Like, Kojima, I know you probably want a good rub from like a real good podcast, so we got you, dude. No worries.
Yeah, especially a good rub. Rub and tug.
Like a rub and tug, dude.
OTP handy.
Pokemon car, a concept electric car by Mini. That's pretty cool. You know what I'm trading the Jeep for, baby? A Pokemon car. Hell yeah. BK, now your turn. What did you think about some of the announcements we saw from Gamescom?
Yeah, and this is one where I missed it all live again. Just like so
I did too.
And, life has been crazy, but I watched all of it after the fact, as in most of it this morning, actually. But new Tales from the Borderlands, super excited about that. Tales from the Borderlands was one of the better Telltale games. Like, it was up there with Walking Dead Season 1. Because The Walking Dead really trailed off for me. Like, Season 2 was still good, but not as near as good as Season 1. Season 3 just kind of kept dipping. But, like, obviously, Wolf Among Us Season 1 is just top tier. But, like, Tales from the Borderlands, super good. Like, Tales from the Borderlands got me into Borderlands games. Because, like, I saw Tales from the Borderlands. I really enjoyed the Telltale games. So I played that, and I was like, I'm going to check out the Borderlands games. And so, like, and that's why I enjoy the Borderlands games now. So I'm super excited about that. I want to see where that goes. Word Song coming from Bethesda and Obsidian devs. So that kind of seems like something kind of like, if you're an RPG guy, it's probably going to be up your alley. So I'm not going to touch Callisto Protocol. I'm not going to touch the Genshin Impact or Honkai. the Friends v Friends, that's cool. It's just I don't know if that's a game I'm gonna play because it seems like a like an online multiplayer like game, hopping on with friends, and like I just don't like necessarily like do that. Like I kind of play the single player games. Then like my one buddy Justin, shout out to JG, like he'll usually just like we'll hop in a chat and we'll just like talk. Well, I'm just doing that. Like I just don't do a lot of like games with friends. But it is like I did do a little Fall Guys like with JG and some other people, and like I will admit like playing games like with playing video games with friends is a lot of fun. I do miss that from time to time. Admittedly, it brought a tear to my eye. Let's see what else. So the Park Beyond, I love Roller Coaster Tycoon, and who didn't? I played the shit out of that growing up. That'll be interesting to see where that goes. What else like really stood out for me? So I'm not touching Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, but I just thought it was interesting that this 1988 movie property is coming back as a video game here in 2022. It's quite interesting. All right. Hey, like, good for all you people out there that like that movie. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Okay. All right. Alex, I haven't seen it for obvious reasons. I wonder if Colleen has. I'm just going to turn around and ask her real quick. You should have seen her face. It was an emphatic no.
No.
All right. So High on Life. This is the game from one of the two creators of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland. His second video game venture now. His first one was what Trevor Saves the Universe or Trevor. I don't know. So I was almost, I guess, like a little down on this game compared to Big J and BB when we had the whole E3 recap. I think you guys are a little bit higher on it than I was. Watching the gameplay, maybe I was wrong, just because like the guns talking and everything like that seemed really cool, and it's got the very very much like Rick and Morty humor. So I may have been a little too down on this game. So like we'll see. I will admit that I could have been wrong. That game looks like it'll be fun, and I'll have to check that out. The Lords of the Fallen, I'm not going to play that game. I just thought it was funny that they literally just added a "the" before Lords of the Fallen. But we know in video game properties, this has worked before with like Saints Row and The Saints Row. And then even in movie properties with The Fast and the Furious and Fast and Furious. If you can take out the "thes", and people will know that it's a different title in movie and or game. So I just thought that was funny. The Expanse, another Telltale series there. We got another one coming out. It's just awesome to see them back in the space because, like, I mean, they were dominating games that I was playing there for a good bit. I know Colin and I tried to watch that show. It's a show on Amazon Prime for anyone out there. I know my one buddy Dino is real big into it. I think we watched a couple episodes. We weren't feeling it, but I still might want to check out the game just because I really enjoy what they do. Blacktail, the playing as the good or bad witch. This seems like it's got the Bioshocky feel because you have like witchcraft elements, you got spells, then you also have a bow and arrow, first person, like a little RPG adventure game. That's good. Looks like a lot of fun. Glad the DualSense Edge is coming out. It's the same thing as the Microsoft Elite controller, except like you can't swap out the D-pad. The D-pad is like stuck.
Yeah.
So like if that is a make it or break it for you, like, oh, okay. But just glad that's coming out. Excited. So, yeah, it was a good Gamescom. It was a good chance to kind of see some games that we hadn't really seen before, and a good chance to get a deeper look at some games.
Absolutely. I was really excited to get some different takes. Like I said, there was a few things that stood out to me, and a few things that didn't. But all in all, pretty good. We also had a Nintendo Treehouse Live, which was cool. They showed off Harvestella, which is from Square Enix, because let me tell you, Square Enix loves Nintendo. Loves everything about Nintendo.
And they love RPGs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Lifestyle sim RPG while also battling monsters, has the 4 seasons and also the season of death, Quietus. So I'm pretty excited.
This seems weird. It seems... what was the lifestyle farming game that people were playing? That's the 2D graphic, like the pixel graphics. Oh my gosh! Like
you're not talking about Farmville, are you?
Nah, not Farmville, but it was on console. Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah, Stardew Valley. Yeah.
So like, I never got into that because I was like, the I'll just do the real life one. And I will say, I'm not going to play the Summer Stone one either. Like, because I saw the trailer and I was like, this is just not for me.
No, it's not your thing.
But the trailer I thought was hilarious. Like, oh yeah, we have seasons. Like, work your way through the seasons. You got spring, summer, fall, winter, and then you have the season of death. It was just, because I didn't expect that to come. I was like, oh yeah, the seasons. Like, I know the seasons of the year. I'm not familiar with the season of death. I got, unless you consider summer in the South death.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really funny how they did that. So interesting looking game, I will say. Interesting looking game.
Absolutely. And then we got more looks at Splatoon 3 coming out September 9th. They also unveiled a Splatoon 3 Switch OLED that's up for pre-order right now, and it looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been tough not to snag, honestly, because I've looked at it and I'm like, man, because like you said, you brought up such a good point. It was either the last gaming episode or the one before that, where you're like, oh yeah, the OLED model like really makes the most sense for you because you play like almost exclusively in handheld, and then like I was like, yeah, no shit, he's right. Like, so it would make a difference like for me more than like other gamers, and so like I've been sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, maybe I should just pick up the OLED. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for me, right? Mine stays plugged into the dock. There's literally no reason for me to do it. Absolutely none. The only time I could think to upgrade my Switch would be when something is upgraded for the dock. All right, like if I'm getting something better that way, all right, cool. Handheld wise, I won't really see the difference because I don't play it enough handheld, so I can't. And then after that, we had a Fortnite and Destiny doing a bunch of good stuff together, including a collaboration because now you can buy Destiny 2 in the Epic Game Store. Remember, if you do that, use the store code AMNATIONPOD. I didn't even do that whole thingamajig roll. I meant to do it after I introduced you, and I forgot. Oh, well, we'll get to that at the end of the show. But yeah, use the AMNATIONPOD code there on Epic Game Store when you get Destiny 2, and then we get a little kickback at no extra cost to you. We appreciate that. Or while you're buying these dope-ass skins in Fortnite, you got Zavala, Ikora, and the Exo Stranger. They're all in the shop, on top of some other Destiny goodies as well, including like a Sparrow that you can use as a glider and a bunch of other things. A couple of the different weapons are also available as a pickaxe. I almost bought one of them because I think it's called the King's Vow. It's a sword from Destiny. It's like the one sword I use all the fucking time. Oh, damn, I almost made the whole show without swearing. That's pretty good. I use it all the time. And
take that, Steve.
Yeah, he won't even. He doesn't even listen to the gaming episodes, so he won't even know. He won't even know, dude. Yeah, he won't even know. Rude. But I'll be like, I use it all the time, and I really want it. And honestly, I might go back after this weekend and get it. I don't know yet. Haven't decided yet, but I really, really want it. But I don't know. Also, on top of that, Destiny 2 is getting armor items as well. Right now, happening now. If you want to play a Warlock while wearing the Drift Ornament, a Hunter wearing the Oblivion Ornament, or a Titan as a Black Knight, you can't go wrong with any of them. As the celebration of Destiny 2 launching on the Epic Game Store, they've discounted these sets for the duration of Season 18. They will revert to the listed price starting next season. Also, while researching, I found some more interesting information on the unofficial Fortnite wiki. Drift has a rift-like substance on him as well as an electric aura, so honestly, it's a perfect fit for Warlocks this season. Oblivion's description only reads, Unending Vengeance, and that says exactly all you need to do for your hunters, and Black Knight is one of the 6 Fort Knights, so for all you Titans, it gives a great callback to building and protecting the walls surrounding the city when it's first built. But the celebration doesn't end there. You can link your Epic Game Store account to Bungie.net to redeem a Fortnite and a Fall Guys-inspired emblem on September 1st. Pretty cool. Exotic ornament results. The winner is Arbalest. I totally thought this was going to be a much closer vote than it was because the Rat King. But nope, the Arbalest gets a cool ornament, and it's 50% off. It got 50% of the vote, so that is really cool. They also have a player support report, which is something for like a little banner that you can help that helps support the players and stuff that they got going on in there. Destiny's got a bunch of stuff going on, and they also brought back a raid as well. The Taken King raid is back. You starting yesterday, you can join your raid team to take on Aurochs on the Dreadnought once again. If you are the first team to do it, you get this super sweet like wrestling championship belt. It looks really awesome, really really cool. You get all 6 members of the Final Fire team receive one of the world's first title belts. These are really cool. I am assuming these are like real life belts. If so, that's cool. That's really awesome. If you do complete the King's Fall raid before September 6th, you can actually get a Taken King ring, a real life ring you can buy that has like his like crown on it. It's honestly super cool that they're even doing things like this. So I like that. I like that about Destiny. And they also showed off the next expansion as well, which looks really awesome. The one thing I hate about Destiny is that I always see the new expansions. I'm like, oh, time to jump back in for a little while. But I always don't time my jump in back in with like David and everybody else's. So I'm just by myself for too long. And I'm like, I don't like this anymore. And that's how that happens. It's kind of like World of Warcraft. I know I'm going to jump back into WoW, but I have to time it that I do it with somebody else. If I do it by myself, I'll just stop playing. It's just how it goes. Can't help it. That's how I am with all the grindy games. I don't like it. So it's really cool. Really, really cool from Bungie and Epic teaming up and all that. So I like that. On top of us getting the Goku and all the other cool stuff, we also got Destiny 2 stuff. So that's cool. I also think at some point in Destiny, someone was telling me, one of the maps, it has a broken down battle bus from Fortnite in it now. So that's really cool.
Nice.
And Fortnite designed a map that looks like one of the Destiny 2 maps that you fight on, and you play it like a team deathmatch kind of thing. So it's like you're playing Destiny in Fortnite. Kind of cool. Kind of pretty cool.
It's quite a large crossover event, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. Twitch is doing some good things as well that I love. It's letting their partners stream on other platforms. So YouTube, Facebook, and all others. You just can't simulcast. But this is great, man. Give people the option to make money as most places as possible.
Yeah, well, and I want to talk about the, did you see the thing going around? I think it was either yesterday or the day before last, but like someone out there was not very bright and was, getting screwed on their Twitch. Like they were getting.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
And but like thing was is like in the reflection, because there was a window right there, you could kind of see everything. And so I know there was a big kind of hubbub about this, and rightly so, because like that is well, that's actually porn. Like and then they only banned her for a week, which is kind of a little lax, and I understand it's kind of like a teen and make bad decisions, and you're not always thinking straight, and you're gonna make bad decisions from time to time. But like at the same time, there does need to be some consequences, and so because look, she can always just go make another name. I would just go ahead and perma ban her, because they were perma banning people for much less.
Yes.
So I don't know. I saw that happening, and I was like, "This is just ridiculous." And it's just like another reason why, like, I am just so out of touch with the Twitch culture. That is just like not my thing. Like, that's just one thing. I'm too old school for that.
I was trying to find her name, not that girl's name, but another girl that she was a former. I think she's a former. I don't think she's actively. I don't know. Adult industry star. I cannot remember her name, dude. It's on.
Oh, you're talking about Adriana Chechik.
That's it, dude.
I saw that too. Yeah, she was permanently banned, and she was like, I mean, she wasn't like fully clothed, but like she was like, it was slightly revealing, but there was nothing revealed like downstairs, and she had like the X's over like her.
Yeah,
boobs.
the big old X tape over her nipples and stuff. Yeah. Like you got girls on doing the top tub stream and stuff. Like, and when I saw that she got banned, I was like, well, that's kind of silly. Like, Twitch does have a tendency to target former and current adult industry stars. Like they do that, which is such a weird thing for them to do anyway. Like, I don't know. It's just Twitch is very weird about that.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's not my thing, and so just it's not a good look in my opinion. Like they've already had a bunch of tough looks here, and so like what they are doing with the letting people stream on other platforms, like hey, that is a great thing, like you said, but like at the same time, we do got to call out the bullshit, and so like what happened was absolutely and unequivocally bullshit.
Right.
So
Right. Absolutely. This is where you gotta just really dive in a little bit. It goes away from the video games a little bit, but that's okay. Warner Discovery has been having some issues, man. Absolute issues. We heard about the merger months ago, and honestly, for me, I was just excited because that's two apps now that I don't have to pay for two separate apps. I can get all in one spot because I do enjoy the Discovery app, but at the same time, I also love HBO Max. So they've lost over 5.5 billion market cap, $1 billion in the market cap since the merger shakeup weeks ago. Reportedly, Christopher Nolan will no longer work with them, which maybe that's why then it came out that the Flash movie is testing better than anything they've had since the last Batman movie from Christopher Nolan. That could be why. But yeah, and then you got all that going on. Ezra Miller had that press, like where he did a press release that he's getting help because he has mental issues, and that's why all this stuff was going on. Batgirl got canceled. So many things. BK, what is going on over there?
I think it was just more or less so like the whole Warner Brothers thing, because that's been passed around like a hot potato for, I mean, ever since I've been alive. I mean, because I remember with the whole AOL thing, like AOL was huge, like, you know, take you back in time here, you know, kids, to the 90s. And there was this thing called AOL Instant Messenger. And guess what? That is what you did when you got, like, when you got home and, you know, hopped in there, you had a bunch of different windows. And that's how you, like, you kept in touch with your friends and all that. It was essentially like old world texting. That's what I would call it, old world texting. But yeah, AOL was huge. And, like, I think either they bought Warner Brothers or, like,
AOL got bought. AOL got bought,
yeah,
I believe, by Time Warner.
But that was a huge like I think that was over it was $100 billion deal around like that. So like there's always been this giant like money trail, and because like that lost them a lot of money because like as kids know, like the reason why you don't hear a lot about AOL or Instant Messenger anymore is because after that it plummeted. Like no one used it anymore. So they've always had issues like money wise. They've always had to try someone to like kind of take over the money. Like, oh, that's like with the whole AT&T merger. That was like the aughts. That actually wasn't terribly long ago. That was like what, like 2016 ish, 2014 maybe. It was the mid aughts there. So money it seems like it's always been an issue dating back to the acquisition of AOL, and you're kind of seeing that take a hold now where like they're kind of having to cut a lot of content. So like I think they tried to cut around like 3 billion like from their expenditures, and so it cost them 5.5 billion in the market in market cap. So like you did save 3 billion, but then you also lost another 2.5 in potential revenue streams. So it's tough time over there, and I know that hurts you because like we talked about last week, you're a big DC guy, so I do feel for that. And the Batgirl one, man, it's just I hope that does eventually see the light of day. I would just like to see it, even if it's like, you know, a crappy, just, you know, no CGI or special effects version. It's just because I want to see Michael Keaton in there with the Batgirl and all that stuff, and we've never seen Batgirl. Well, I guess we have. Sorry, we had the Alicia Silverstone Batgirl from way back in the day, but like we haven't had, you know, a Batgirl since, you know, like in the 2000s. So I don't know. It's just they need to get it together. It's still very early days of this merger, so and I hope people realize that. And we've talked about Microsoft, you know, doing mergers and buying them. It takes time whenever you acquire a big company to kind of assimilate for lack of a better term there, to kind of understand their business structure, to get the finances straight, and then kind of to set a path moving forward. There's going to be a shakeup. There's going to be rough waters in the beginning, so you just got to hope that they can navigate through them and get on the other side.
Absolutely. WandaVision director Matt Shakman will now be directing the Fantastic Four movie. Sweet. This is after Watts pulled out months ago, so this is pretty cool. Excited for that. The BioShock movie from Netflix finds its director, Francis Lawrence. He previously worked on the first Hunger Games, I Am Legend, and Slumberland. Oh, all right. I'm in.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to watch the BioShock movie anyways, but when I just saw that when they got Francis Lawrence, I was like, oh, like, because he's actually like really good director. He's not just like a Michael Bay where he's just like, oh, explosions.
Don't you dare diss the Transformer movies or the
I
TMNT
super
movie.
enjoyed the first one. I still enjoyed the second, and then after that, it starts just trailing off like a cliff.
Megan Fox was the key. I got it. Okay, copy that. Moving on.
Absolutely, and Shia LaBeouf.
And Shia
They were both
LaBeouf.
the keys.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
both the cogs that were making those wheels turn.
Absolutely. EA and Amazon made some news yesterday. So I'm getting off work, and my boy, Have It Your Way BK, texted me this Twitter account that we go to often for news. And I was like, it said EA is purportedly being bought by Amazon with an announcement today. And my jaw dropped. I was like, there's no way. I don't even know what this means. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I hate it. I don't know if I'm indifferent. I don't know what to feel. I have no idea. So then, by the time that text was sent and I got home and got into my bed, that was all rebunked. Because GLHF reported that Amazon was going to buy EA, and then CNBC quickly dashed that news. During that time, EA stock price went up as well, and then it went back down to normal after the rumor or the news was cut down. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, the reason that this was so believable is because gonna transport us back in time here. Remember when I texted you about the Microsoft Bethesda acquisition? Because that was one that was like randomly dropped. There were no rumors or anything. Like I was like, I think that was like what, like a Wednesday morning. I think that's when it came, and like I remember immediately texting you, "Whoa!" Like it was like nuts. And so like when I saw this come out, I think IGN actually did report that like that was like their tweet. If it was other a lot of news game sites, but like gaming sites were rolling with this, by the way, not just IGN. Like all of them were.
Right.
So not trying to call them out, like calling everybody out. So then I was like, so that's what made it believable. I was like, oh wow, okay. And like, look, and Amazon's got buku bucks, so they can buy a lot of things and they'll be fine. And like they continually buy. They just bought Roomba the other day, so like.
Oh, that's right, they did.
Yeah. So like now, like Alexa's gonna be tracked. You can tell her stuff to do, and then she'll even know the layout of your own house, and we'll have like, oh, you should put a couch here. You need to buy this here. So like, just watch out for your Roombas, people.
I do have a couple.
We have one, but it's not the Roomba brand. It's like Debo.
Okay.
I don't know, something else.
Debo.
But so that's why I thought this was believable. And then so then CNBC on like their morning like stock watch, they were like, no, this is not true. This is dumb. Can't believe this was like reported. So it was a crazy little 30 minutes there, and it was literally like 30 minutes of just like what. It was debunked fairly quickly, so that was nice. We didn't have like half a day or even like a day or anything like so. Crazy. I was not thrilled about it just because Amazon hasn't really proven that they can do anything with video games. Honestly, like the game they came out with earlier this year, what was it, New World? Yeah,
right.
That's what it's called, New World. And it started off hot like for a week and then just like trailed off. And then the whole Luna thing, the Luna service, like I know of no one that actively uses it or cares about it. It's just that Amazon tech sucks. And like when you kind of referenced it earlier, like
I sure did.
Your fired TV stick is like buggy, and it's because like most of their electronics are buggy and they suck because they're made as cheap as humanly possible with like the least amount of engineering, so they can get it so they can literally get it into your hands for pennies on the dollar. And then if it breaks, they're like, oh yeah, just buy another one. It's super cheap, and it's like they're not good quality products. Like that's why like the Fire phone they came out. Sucks, dick.
So I want to talk about that. Dan the Freakster Frigo, our guy, got the Fire phone originally, right? And he hated it so fast. Pokemon Go came out, couldn't even get Pokemon Go right away. Couldn't even do it because it doesn't have. When he had the phone, it didn't run the Android system software. It ran whatever software Amazon had programmed into it, which is awful. The only thing I give Amazon credit for is the Nooks. Like, I honestly think those are very good.
Fire tablet. The Nooks are from Barnes and Noble.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Fire tablet. The Fire tablet is like honestly not bad. Like that's a pretty good thing. But like, yeah, absolutely. You know, somebody was mentioning it. I think we were at David's house, and someone was talking about how like they buy their books off Amazon. And I think David stopped the conversation and was like, well, you know, that's why Amazon was created, right? Originally. And I think it was Caitlin and his wife were both just like, what? I'm like, yeah, it was a bookstore. It was a bookstore that's what Jeff Bezos was coming up with. And it just ended up evolving into what it is now. But yeah. Yeah, so it goes to show that no shit, the only technology that they do really well is book related. So
Absolutely. I can't believe they didn't know that it was a bookstore originally. It was one of the earlier websites.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was crazy. I was just like, David said that, and I was like, yep. Yeah, I was just thinking that as they were talking about it. Like, of course it makes sense to buy your books from Amazon. Of course. That's what it was there for. That's what originally the whole purpose of it was.
I actually get, just because we still do shop at like Amazon, but I try not to. So I actually get like a good portion of our books from like Barnes and Noble and stuff.
So
like
does Caitlin. Yeah.
And just do the store pickup, like support them. And my mom has been a Nook fan since day one. She's on her like second or third Nook now. Like, I mean, she's like completely like build them up. She's got like, we got her like the latest and greatest one last year when she retired. So yeah, she's a big Nook fan.
Oh yeah, my dad's like a steady Barnes and Noble fan and like member and like has been for a long time. My dad loves to read. That's why it's always easy just to be like, here's a Barnes and Noble gift card for whatever the occasion is. Boom, here you go. But yeah, we were talking about that, and we go to Barnes and Nobles like almost every weekend we're in town. Like that's what we do. Me and Caitlin, we're like, oh, yep, that's what we're gonna go do.
Well, and so like, and Pop Hunter BK. So you know, like,
dude, they don't have any good Funkos no more at mine.
Well, yeah, because they don't get exclusives anymore. Oh. They're not really doing stock purchases like they used to. So you can't really go there to hunt anymore. But suppose like back in the day when you could, you become a Barnes and Noble member, you get 10% off on that pop, which like really helps drop the price down. Not to mention Pokemon cards are sold there, like the packs, like the ETBs are sold there. So if you kids are out there looking for like, because I know the new one is supposed to be, it's up for pre-order, it's supposed to come out here soon. I forget the name of it, the Vanishing something or whatever. But like, so like, become a Barnes & Noble member. You'll get 10% off on those, and that'll actually help you save money on those Pokemon cards going forward, stuff like that. That's a pro move right there.
And ours actually has Starbucks in it. So
yeah, same in Greenville. So yeah, I dare I say, do they all have Starbucks? I feel like
you know what, you might be right. At first, I thought maybe it was just mine, and then when you said that, I think maybe they all do.
Maybe, I don't know.
I've gone to quite a few, and they always have it. So maybe that is the partnership. I love it. Also, Netflix cancels Resident Evil series after just one season. Cool. Again, we are seeing major shakeups, like we mentioned last week, across all the streaming platforms where they're trying to figure out what is going to be the next step moving forward. I had mentioned in that show that, you know, you were going to see a decline in numbers. Now, I didn't think you'd see the mass exodus that you started to see from Netflix. I didn't think that was going to happen. But you are seeing it across the board where people are kind of like, I don't know. And a lot of it too is like TV is expensive. Like, so like if you make that decision that you still want TV, especially because we're ramping up, we're in college football and football season and everything like that. It's going to be winter. So you got to make sure you got your Hallmark channel, your Lifetime channel, all those good channels. I was reminded of that earlier today when asked if my YouTube TV had those. And I had to tell her, yes, they do. And she, okay, good. So the biggest thing is you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision because obviously things are really expensive right now. All these streaming platforms are raising their prices. So it's a pain in the ass, man. It's a pain in the ass. As somebody that has viewed themselves for like the better part of a decade as the streaming pack mule of the group. Always, that's been my role. I have like two roles as the group. I'm a streaming pack mule, and I also am the person that picks the music every event. So like those are my two rules. One of those is a little bit cheaper than the other. But as somebody that does do that, I was like, oh, dude, I kind of gotta consolidate some things. Like I don't know if I need all this. And it's actually started to help me a little bit. Funimation went away. Crunchyroll is the main one. That's cool. Now I don't have two anime apps, which is great. I have one. Netflix, I just ended up having to like not get the 4K. I was like, no, we're not going to do it. We don't need to. We're not doing it. It's too expensive.
Well, if you want do you have a 4K TV?
I do.
All right, I'll give you the password later.
All right. I'll only use it every once in a while then, because I have many people that spawn off of me on my Netflix. So.
Oh no! See, I don't. I begrudgingly shared it with my buddy Dinos and Josh, and they were essentially like begging me because I didn't share it with anyone just because like I didn't want them using my name.
Yeah, you don't want to jack it up. Yeah. See, mine.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Mine is set for me, David, Mike, and Nick. Now, Caitlin does use mine. So all my algorithms are a little thrown off because it's weird. Because you got all the anime that I watch. You're always going to get true crime documentaries on there because that's both of us. You're always going to get that. That's fantastic. But then she watches, like when I watch them with her, like New Girl and Schitt's Creek and stuff. So like that kind of gets thrown in there a little bit. So mine's a little off, dude. They are both great, dude. They are both great shows. I enjoy them. I think she didn't think that I liked them. And I was like, oh, I've been watching New Girl for like a long time. I like New Girl. She's like, oh, like, so like randomly we'll be sitting there and we'll do the jingle and I'll go, it's Jess. And it's like a great time. And Schitt's Creek, I actually just ended up watching it because she always has it on. And I'd roll over and just be kind of watching it. She's like, I really want to start it from the beginning with you. And I was like, no, that's fine. I just like watching it as you're watching it. It's not a big deal. We don't got to make a thing out of it. I got too many things going on. We can't do that. I have too many shows I'm trying to watch.
You do have a lot of anime to catch up on.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. Oh, it's so bad.
I know.
That's like Junior last week asked me like, hey man, so you've watched any like of the current seasons of anime? And I go, oh my God, no. No. I go, I cannot do that. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, because I'm still behind on so many things. Like, it's hard. I'm like, I have to watch Bleach. I'm like, I'm already skipping around just because I don't want to like get caught up and like get missed, and be like, oh, I'm all up in this filler. Like, I saw the Beach episode. It can't be beat now. It doesn't matter no more. So.
I mean, if that's your favorite filler, then it goes downhill quickly.
Oh, that's bad then. That's bad.
Well, and the thing with Bleach is like they'll have filler arcs where they're like, all right, here's 35 episode filler, and you're like, oh fuck, buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah, dude, and it's like, no, I'm good. I don't need any of that anymore. But like as I was saying, like with all these streaming services, like they're all competing for your money. I mean, the only reason that Amazon gets lucky they haven't been kicked off the thing is because I have to pay for a Prime membership, right? They're smart. They buckle all their stuff into one thing. Right, so if you have Prime, you get access to a bunch of different things, which is cool. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If that wasn't the case, there's no way Prime Video would ever be touched by me. Ever. Even though, do I love The Boys? Yes. Do I love Invincible? Yes. Do they have Vinland Saga, a very good anime that's about medieval stuff that maybe BK would like? Absolutely.
I did see that advertised on there.
I think you would like it, dude. Mike loves it. I think you would like it. Again, if it wasn't included in my Amazon Prime membership, though, probably wouldn't have touched it.
Do you touch Prime Music?
Oh my God, thanks for reminding me, dude. I keep getting charged for that. I noticed it the other day, and I'm like, I don't have this anymore. And I think I don't know if you've ever had to cancel a service from Amazon.
Oh, fuck those motherfuckers. They've been taken to court over that shit.
It's awful,
it's such
dude.
Fucking bullshit.
I literally can't figure it out.
Bullshit.
I literally, I was trying to cancel my Audible because, I have so many credits that I got, especially because, my sister bought me credits before. Now you can't do it anymore. But she bought me credits before for my birthday. And I had so many of them. I'm like, this is actually too many. I don't need a credit every month. So I don't honestly need this service. Dude, I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to cancel it. Couldn't figure it out. I'm like, how is it not just in the app, in one of those apps? Amazon Music, same way, dude. Same way. I've been trying to do it, and I can't figure it out. Can't do it.
Because we had to, when we moved to Colleen's student Amazon, we couldn't merge the old one that I had with P2 and my buddy Peter. So had to completely delete it, and I couldn't do it over the phone, mind you, because I called because I was asking about the merging and the student account and all that stuff, and they were like, well, no, you gotta use the student emails, you gotta be brand new. We're like, all right, fine, fuck you. And I was like, all right, well, can you go ahead and just cancel my other one on the phone? No, I can't do that over the phone. I'm like, what? Why? You're Amazon. And so then it took forever. It took me it took like a good half an hour to figure out because you can't do it on the phone. You have to do it on the desktop. It's like, well, I think you can do it on the phone. It's harder. They add more steps. Like, because they asked you damn near 5 times, are you sure you want to cancel? We want to see you come back. Oh, we'll send you a Roomba so we can map out your house. Oh, we're going to send you a ring so we can scan the outside perimeter of your house so we know when the drones can drop off stuff.
Fun fact, everybody, I canceled it right before I got billed again in 3 days, guys. I did it.
There you go. You say that buck.
Because on the app, dude, it's so hard to find on the Amazon app how to cancel things. It was much better right now on the desktop as I did it. Way 10 easier. But yeah, I was like, looked at it because I was like, oh, dude, good thing you said that. That was good. And I had like a good discount because like I got it for like $5 a month, but still, it's $5 a month, dude. I don't need that. I don't use it. Yeah, honestly,
I don't know anyone that uses Amazon.
No, I use it because at one point they gave me 6 months free. And I was like, all right, dude, whatever. I was like, that's fine. I'll give it a shot. And I just forgot like to cancel it. I kept getting charged, and I was like, I can't figure it out, dude. Somebody help me, please. Yeah, Amazon makes it awful, dude. I'm glad that this became just an anti-Amazon show because I've been so mad at them all week after not getting my Apple TV. Like, if you could ask the people at work, like they've heard me coming every day, just like, motherfucker, dude, I hate Amazon right now, dude. I just hate them. Like my brother Danny, he was complaining about it because he was like, dude, I'm telling you, it happens to me all the time out here now. And I go, that doesn't make sense because I may live in the middle of nowhere, but there is still an Amazon warehouse 20 minutes from here. So
what? There's an Amazon warehouse like near y'all?
Oh, dude, there's like eight in the vicinity within 30 minutes from me.
Dear Lord, there's not one near us.
Oh, really,
like,
dude? Yeah,
there's not even one in Greenville. No, the closest one I believe is in Raleigh area. There's a few in Raleigh.
No. So Amazon, I worked at the first Amazon that we got in this area. Okay, I opened it right when it launched. Yeah, no. But I worked there in the right when it launched. They then opened another one across the street, which does something different, right? They're 2 different operations because Amazon has
the sex toys over at the other one.
Well, like, because one of them, I think this is the one that Joey Real Talk Toronto worked at. They ship to it so the one I worked at would get the freight in, sort it, and ship it to different Amazons, right? So whether it be the Raleigh, the Seattle, the Oregon, all those, right?
Okay.
The one across the street that got built would be one of those that we would sort to, and then they send it to where it's going to go next to be delivered, which they built that one down the street from my old house. So that's the 3rd one. We have another one that's about 20 minutes from there that does something. That's another one. We have another one going the opposite direction about 10 minutes away. That's a 5th one. There's one by me now where I live now that's 20 minutes away. That's a 6th one. There are so many Amazons here in Illinois. In this region, this suburban region. I don't even want to get into how many are in Chicago because I don't know.
That's crazy. That's somewhat concerning.
I think Amazon had cut a deal with the state.
No, they absolutely did.
They made Illinois like this area. It does. I understand. You have Chicago. You have a lot of like river transportation and a lot of rail systems around here that you can use if you need to. My company I work with now, we actually deal with all the Amazon shipping for our area, like for the city, so Joliet and all that. We deal with that. So it's like I can't escape Amazon no matter where I go. I can't escape it. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty insane. So that's why I was so mad all week, just because I didn't get my Apple TV on time, and it made me so ungodly mad.
Yeah, well, if it's supposed to come same day, and then it doesn't come for darn near a week, yeah, that's super upsetting. I don't know, you need to talk to them about that, see if you can get like a discount on your Prime.
I did. Oh, I got a discount not on my Prime, but I got a discount for another purchase. Like I got I don't remember how much off my next purchase.
I would have said I have Prime, so you deliver stuff like this on time, so like you could discount me Prime.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm gonna let you do it all next time for me.
Okay, all right, so I'll go back to old pop hunting BK. So Amazon has the little MCU boxes that come out the pop in the box where it's sometimes it's a pop or 2, then a T-shirt or whatever. And so I would always have them essentially pre-ordered with my size XL.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was on the pre-order list early on, and so one of the Spider-Man boxes I didn't get. And they were like, oh, well, you didn't get it. And so, I called them up, and I was like, so, why didn't I get this? Like, well, we ran out. I was like, well, so like, what's the point of a pre-order then? I was like, you knew I had it, so why did you sell it to other people? Because they did. Because I found that out, like that they didn't allocate correctly, and like it took them forever to admit that to me that they just had a fuck up. And they were like, well, like we're sorry. And I was on the phone with them for like darn near an hour, and the person I was talking to, I was like, I just need to talk to your manager because you're not telling me what I want to hear. I was like, this is unacceptable. I was like, these are highly collectible. I pre-ordered this. I was like, you're screwing me. I was like, you're going out of your way to screw me, and I am not happy about it. And eventually, I got like a discount. I had to like talk to. They were like, because the guy just wanted to get rid of me because I was just sitting outside on the back porch, and I was like, I'll do this all night, motherfuckers. My wife's on night shifts. I got nothing better to do.
Dude, telling you, man. Whew. Yeah, I know. As I was telling Caitlin about it, she was like, well, did you do this? And did you do this? I'm like, well, I got a hold of like the customer support, and they like took care of blah, blah, and I got all my money back. She goes, no. We need to go further. And I was like, oh, dude. Like All Might, dude. Further and beyond. I was like, oh, copy that.
I just got my buddy into My Hero. My one buddy, Peter, who's like, is into anime. He watched like the first 2 episodes of My Hero, and he was like, I just don't think this show is for me. And I was like, he came over last weekend for Sunday Fun Day, and we were doing like, the Coronas, you pour out the top half, you put a shot of tequila in there, and then you put the Tajin in there, so it's like fajita seasoning with a lime. That's like pro move status, like right there. So we're doing that, and got him to finally like watch like more Hero Academia. I was like, you just gotta. I was like, he's just like Asta a little bit in the beginning. He's a little whiny. I was like, but he grows on you. You're just gonna love him. You're gonna love Midoriya. And so like and so like now he's like hooked. He's like watching the dude. He's like, oh man. And he's like, All Might is the dude. He just did some Yami shit. And I was like, yeah, he does.
Yes, he does. Absolutely, same voice actor. So
yeah, Chris Sabat.
Yeah,
same absolutely. As Vegeta.
Same as Vegeta and Piccolo. BK, what are some video game releases?
So we talked about last week Madden 23 sitting. I think it was at a 67 last week, if I remember correctly. It might have been a 69.
Nice.
But it's sitting at 69 this week. And so I was like, man, it didn't go up, which I still thought was like weird. Like it just didn't seem like it moved a lot up or down. Excuse me, burp there a little bit. So then dug in. There's still only 7 critic reviews for Madden 23 on OpenCritic. So I'm not sure what's going on because last year's one, like we talked about last week, had like it was like in the 20s, if not 50s for reviews. So like, why is this year only have 7 reviews? Like it came out a week or 2 before Gamescom, so like there should have been plenty of like other people at these news outlets like to cover it. So I'm not sure what's going on. Like it's confusing. So I actually we need to keep Madden 23 in the notes because that's just so weird to me.
I am torn just because I saw a lot of players, like NFL players and former players, like online ripping the game too, and like it's so weird. Like it's hard to explain if you haven't played it, but like the throwing mechanics, honestly, are really hard. Like I play on All Pro, and one of my like managers at work, we were talking about. He's like, "Hey, so like, what do you think about it?" Because he's like, "You play on Xbox too," and I'm like, "Oh, honestly, dude, it's insanely difficult." He goes, "Dude, I keep throwing picks. Like I cannot get the difference between a bullet pass, a touch pass, like a leading pass. It's hard." And I'm like, "But I like that. Like I'm cool with that because it feels different." So I see all these former players and current players ripping the game, and I'm like, "Okay, I guess it just wasn't for you."
Has Madden got to a point where it is almost too difficult to play, and so like the entry level has just completely like fallen off?
Maybe, honestly, maybe.
Because that's how I have felt like the past. Like that's part of the reason why I don't play like the Maddens and the FIFAs as much anymore. Is because like I used to play them all the time back in college, but it's like the like level of the entry level, like the difficulty level to like to do stuff just became so hard. You have to sink in so much time, and you really have to play like year after year. Where I was just like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. Like this. I
think what Madden needs is NCAA to come back, just to save it. You know, maybe you get that crossover between your draft class that you make or your player that you make, and then going into Madden. Maybe that's what Madden really needs. I mean, I know we all need it. We all need a new NCAA game, but I'm saying specifically Madden. Maybe that's what it needs.
Have they talked about an NCAA if the conferences can start merging into making the super mega ultimate conferences?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could tell you my NCAA 14 last time, Notre Dame was definitely the big time.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
was playing around with
Notre
that.
Dame always shifts somewhere. Like, I mean, yeah, back when I played, I think Notre Dame joined the ACC.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
Yeah, they got to. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, released on everything but the Switch and sits at a 70 on Open Critics. Soul Hackers 2, that is another Atlas game, so like anime inspired. So for all you weeb heads out there, released on everything but the Switch, sits at a 75. Very respectable score there. Saints Row, that's on Junior's list, released on everything but the Switch and sits at a 66 on Open Critics, so that doesn't necessarily help his score. That gets him negative points. And then finally, Midnight Fight Express releases on everything and sits at a 77, our highest score this week. That's like a little 3D little action brawler kind of game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking of Fantasy Critic, yes, Junior did get a -4, so Junior now sits at 89. His games are done. He will be set at an 89 right there. Is that enough to win? My thought, no, I do not believe it will be. BK sits at a 28 with a lot to come out. A lot. I think he gets 2 really good pushes from God of War and Callisto Protocol. Honestly, dude, probably Oxenville too. If that comes out, you should be rocking and rolling, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like, cause like I'm tempted maybe like try to put in a pickup for like Tales of the Borderlands or even Pentiment, because that's the one that's like coming out here in November from Obsidian. Like, there is still a good bit of games coming out this fall. Like, cause like we're in that dry, like it's been a dry summer kind of, like there hasn't been a lot of too many big releases, but like this fall and winter and the beginning of next year, just like, oh my gosh, it's just, oh geez, just like I said, it's gonna be a cavalcade of games, just like it was one after the other. You're just gonna keep me getting knocked in the mouth.
David sitting at a 46, loses Hogwarts Legacy, and obviously again, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I did talk to him this weekend about it. He's like, well, I don't have any money to bid on. I go, dude, you got $3. That means you got $1 to throw in. Nobody is on it like that. It's not like obviously like the fantasy football waiver wire that's going to be intense. All right, you just jump in there and grab something, bro. It's not that big of a deal. You could definitely do it just to get yourself some points, right? Anything, unless you get negatives, but anything other than that, everything should be better than 0, right? Dan, again, sitting at 65. He would need currently Scorn and Lords of the Ring Gollum to at least both get into the mid to high 80s. If that does happen, he will beat Junior. So that is there. Could happen. And if he does that, I'm going to be really mad. Just because he didn't do it. Mike's sitting at a 45 with still a lot to come out, possibly, including Splatoon 3, which we now have a date for. The Last of Us Part 2 should be coming out in about next week. And then he's got Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. And Bayonetta 3 is still a tricky one. I don't think that's coming out. Don't think it's going to happen, but who knows? And then myself, sitting at a 63 as well. Still Plague's Tale, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and Sonic Frontiers. I believe now, as I sit, what is that, 26? No. Yeah, 26 away from Junior. I think I should also pass Junior. I honestly believe all of us have a chance to pass Junior. Because Saints Row, losing him the 4 points, that actually really sucks.
Yo, Saints Row, fuck them. Just like how the GTA Remastered Collection fucked me the other year. I would have like won.
Yeah, easily. So, interesting developments here. We'll see how that goes. BK, anything else before we wrap this shindig up?
Nah. It's been a great episode. Gamescom was fun, and then so I guess the next big gaming conference for the year is Tokyo Game Show. But that normally doesn't have like the I guess like diversity of like announcements. Like a few things trickle out here or there during that. That actually seems to be more of like an indie scene kind of thing. You're going to see a lot of indie Japanese developers come out, a lot of JRPGs, obviously, with it being Japan. So so we just got one more to go for the year, and then then we're getting into the fall busy season where a lot of games are going to be coming out and all the sports are going to be on. It's like we've said before, it's about to be the best time of the year, and even Colleen is drinking pumpkin spice.
God bless.
Now in the espresso she's making.
Dude,
so
I found out Caitlin doesn't like pumpkin spice, bro.
Whoa! How does she not like pumpkin spice?
It blew my mind. Honestly, made me mad. Like, I thought about dumping her.
I can't blame you.
I know. When I see her later, I'm gonna
Jeez.
tell her too. I'm like, hey, just so you know, getting a lot of feedback here that maybe just because of the pumpkin spice. So yeah, we'll see. I absolutely love pumpkin spice. I have held off because it's still too warm. I can't do it because I don't like. We were talking about this last week. So I think we went to Starbucks, and I got like a hot drink, and my brother and her were like, "It's like 85 degrees out. You probably should have like an iced coffee or something." Like, you're probably right, but the drink that they had as recommended, one of the baristas, sounded delicious. And it was delicious. However, a hot coffee while I'm outside wasn't the move.
See, well, so sometimes it'll actually make you feel better because hear me out, because like you're raising your internal temperature, so then it almost feels a little bit better outside.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, as always, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at AMNATIONPOD. Hit the follow button on all of those. The intro music is from Taicho Beardo. You can find him on SoundCloud with the link in the episode description, or just search Taicho Beardo on SoundCloud and Spotify and other streaming services. You can listen to us on podcast platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on Spotify, you can subscribe to the show for $5 a month to help support the show. We appreciate that very, very much. Just click that at the top of the show description. If you want some sweet merch, you can click that in the episode description to get yourself some awesome AM Nation Pod and Undead Black Bull merch. You also listen to us on YouTube. Go on YouTube, click the link in the episode description, or just search Amalgamation Nation on YouTube. Make sure you hit that sub button. Give us a like, give us a listen, all that good stuff. Twitch.tv/Undead Black Bull is where David will be streaming. Make sure you go on there, give him a follow. And if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub a month. So you give that to Undead Black Bull. That's the only thing I can give Amazon credit for on this episode today. So nice. And like I mentioned earlier, the Epic Games creator code is AMNationPod. Hit that thing. Go on there while you're playing Fortnite, while you're playing Destiny 2 now on the Epic Games Store, whether you're playing Fall Guys or any of that cool stuff. Use the Epic creator code AMNationPod. We get a little bit of support without any extra cost to you. So we appreciate that as well. Until next time, everybody, have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, your weekend, all that good stuff. I hope if you have any fantasy football drafts, good luck to you. And as always, you stay breezy.